Like and subscribe. Now. People who have posted on r/roast and regretted it. What was the comment that destroyed you? When I smile I get super deep forehead wrinkles, and prior to posting I hadn't been insecure about these. 5 years later I'm still super insecure about them and have bangs to hide them. Because I got like 8 different comments about them. Moral of the story. Don't post on roast me if you aren't prepared to unlock a new insecurity. You look like the word lettuce. The automat said that it could not be submitted because it may have minors. Roasted by the automat. How? This is the first I've heard and I cannot stop laughing. I posted on an old account years ago. The only comment I got was no. Someone once said I looked like a sexually deprived lesbian. I'm male BTW. Another said I looked like the after pick from a crystal meth PSA. Congratulations on getting off of meth, I guess. Someone told me, you look like someone went into the AI creator and set your eyes as far apart as they could go. I laughed but I also died. I bet they use that septum ring to pull you away from the buffet lines. Damn. What are some of the most absurd lies your parents told you? My dad tried to tell me that cars were run by hamsters on wheels under the gear shift, and they knew to run because the stick ended in a block of ice that would go on their backs. I was 8 and asked him WTF he was talking about. He had been told this by his uncle and believed it, and was disappointed it didn't work on me. Don't worry about paying for college. We'll take care of the monthly payments. We'll figure it out. Narrator. They didn't. What could college cost? $10. If we couldn't decide on a restaurant, my dad would tell us we'd better make up our minds quick, or he'd take us to Vegetable World. I was like 11 before I realized it wasn't a real restaurant. By golly, it worked until then though. I asked my dad where babies came from. He told me that he found me and my sisters in my mom's cabbages. All he had to do was flip over the leaves and he saw our faces and pulled us out. My sisters and I spent hours looking for new babies. Is that where you got your username? Plus 214. Is it? I don't need sleep. I need answers. When I was like 5 my mom said she can give birth to puppies. Students, what is the most unfair suspension/expulsion you've ever seen in all your years of schooling? My friend got suspended for getting his ass kicked. Edit, did not defend himself either. It takes 2 to start a fight. No, it takes 1 a-hole to target somebody and beat the crap out of them. So this isn't my school, but my nephew's. The school expelled several students for having a picture posted on Facebook. The principal said it promoted alcoholism. Then the picture was shown and it had a group of students in a party, where you could see someone in the background holding a wine glass. It was the wedding. The principal got the whole school and boat to sue the students when the students tried to sue to have their expulsion nullified. It ended when the school had to admit they were broke and had mismanaged the school funding. The students had their expulsions nulled but opted to go to other schools. The school shut down a few years back and their buildings are now used for quarantine. What the hell? They literally tried to destroy several students' lives just so they could get money? Suspended for the color of my socks. No joke. Did you came back barefooted after the suspension? Of course. I'm in my 40s and this still sticks with me. I had a classmate in 7th grade who was expelled, which, because we had only one each of junior high and high school, meant she was expelled from our entire district. Because she was a type 1 diabetic, a teacher walked in on her with her insulin in the washroom. Assumed it was drugs, wouldn't let her take her insulin, and took her down to the principal's office, where she was immediately expelled. Her parents were so horrified and disgusted they didn't even fight it, just put her in private school. Kid in another class didn't have his homework in because he was at his nan's funeral. Teacher told him, maths homework is more important than a funeral. Kid lost his effing mind, and was suspended. Wow, sounds like a college professor I know. She pulled that crap and it didn't end up well for her. After death you wake up in a child's body and still have all your previous life's memory. What will you do right this time? Be the smartest little effer in my class until I turn 15. I would flex so hard with my knowledge. The problem comes when the child prodigy turns 15 and can barely keep up in class. You managed to speak full sentences at 4 months, so what's so hard about algebra is something I'd hear a lot. Having the mind of a 50-year-old with 20-yo parents, nightmare fuel. Depends. When and where does the brat live? Gary, Indiana. I will jump from the next bridge. What's legal now, but probably won't be in 10 years? Getting away with listing color or artificial flavor on ingredient listings and not getting to know what exactly those additives are. This is a pet peeve of mine. I had an allergic reaction to a particular sauce. All of the known listed ingredients I have regularly with no issue. We strongly suspect it is something in the other herbs and spices clause. Had my doctor do an allergy test, but it did not come up on the general list. My coworker has this issue. He's allergic to onions and garlic, and they're usually included in other herbs and spices. Parents exploiting kids on YouTube. Mobile games ads not showing actual gameplay and being super sexual. I effing hate that. EA's surprise mechanics. People who don't want to tax the 1% but are not in the 1%. Why? This is gonna be my most downvoted comment ever, but here we go. Because they make everybody else's lives infinitely better by creating wealth for everyone, by inventing amazing technology that benefits everyone, by creating millions of jobs around the world, by carrying and even creating entire economies from nothing. They benefit mankind arguably more than anyone, and they are hated for it, scapegoats of all the evils in the world. But it isn't because of how they benefit mankind or any of the spectacular achievements that I believe the 1% shouldn't be taxed. It is simply because I don't believe whatever one's beliefs that you can just gang up on a minority, corner them and steal from them just because they have more than you. My own or anybody else's need does not justify force. I think every adult in the country should pay the same flat rate. No deductions, no shelters, no write-offs. You could do your taxes on a postcard. I live in a socialist country. Not in the 1% and not desiring to be, but it's always better to earn more than to earn less, and socialism helps people climb the ladder. If not for socialism, once you turn homeless, you'd be a homeless beggar for the rest of your life, because nobody will hire someone who has no access to shower until the first payday. What is something that irritates you that you're also guilty of doing? Being on this particular road going in this particular direction at this particular time of day. Why is there traffic right now? Damn it, yeah. Why the F is everybody out doing stuff right now? They should be at home. IK are so annoying, they should get out of the traffic and wait until there is nobody on the road. Having a short temper. Shut the F up. Promising to start doing something starting next Monday. Or planning stuff in advance, knowing it will not go according to plan. What screams, I have money but don't know how to manage it. Their quality of living going drastically up and down proportionally depending on how close it is to a payday. When they have cash, it's balls to the wall, expensive lunches, lots of online shopping, and making plans, followed by a week of sulking while eating ramen tortillas. Buying an expensive car then never changing the oil. I worked with a guy who broke down on the highway one day. Turns out he hadn't changed his oil, or probably any other form of maintenance, for like 8 to 9 months. Knowing his commute, he should have gone 3 months at most between changes just on work mileage. Professional athletes going broke shortly after their career ends. Evander Kane went bankrupt during this season, while still actively playing. The money phone is not a good look after that news. Men of Reddit, who are your female heroes? The manager I had when I volunteered in a charity shop. I was in a very bad place in my life, and she helped to coax me out of my shell and build my confidence, and she told customers who were rude to me to F off. I'm a little person, so I tend to attract jerks. She was so classy while not taking anyone's crap, and she was unflappable in any situation. I aspire to be like her one day. Simone Gilles, her mentality around building shy things intentionally to make it okay to not always succeed helped me with similar performance anxiety. She's also a very good person, maintaining her positivity while having a brain tumor removed. is one of the most impressive things I have ever witnessed. Very few people could do that. Mary Shelley. She was the daughter of two very famous authors, married an even more famous poet, and most of her circle was comprised of famous, male, writers like Lord Byron and Leigh Hunt. Despite this, she still held her own and wrote a world-renowned work of literature that is arguably far more influential than anything Percy or Lord Byron. Crap, the only people who read Byron or Percy Shelley in their entirety are academics like me, but everyone has heard of Frankenstein.